Hello, and welcome to the Managing Successful Programs certification course offered by Simplilearn. This introductory lesson gives a brief idea of the MSP certification and its objectives. In today's world of dynamic changes and external stimulators, organizations should adapt to such changes for survival. Only those organizations that have learnt how to transform themselves through effective leadership and strategic control will prosper. Program management is a key tool to enable organizations to deliver their strategy. Managing successful programs represent proven best practices that enable delivering successful transformations. Let us begin with the course objectives in the next screen. By the end of this course, you will be able to explain MSP principles, describe MSP governance themes, discuss the transformational flow of MSP, and explain the areas of focus of different roles involved in managing successful programs. Let us move on to the next screen for an introduction to MSP. Managing Successful Programs, or MSP, was developed as a best practice guide on program management. Some of its features are as follows. The guide comprises a set of principles and processes to be used when managing a program. MSP represents proven program management best practice in the successful delivery of transformational change. The best practices in MSP are drawn from both public and private sectors. We will learn more on MSP in the upcoming lessons. In the next screen, we will focus on what is APMG. APMG International is a global examination institute accredited by the APM Group Limited. APMG has been awarded a contract to operate as an examination institute for the Axelos portfolio of best management practice products such as Prince2, ITIL, MOV, MOP, MOR, MSP, P3M3, and P3O. Axelos is a new joint venture company which has taken over the ownership of above-mentioned products from Cabinet Office. The trainings accredited by APMG and consulting organizations have gone through the most rigorous assessment process in the industry in order to ensure high standards. This means that all the candidates and organizations awarded an APMG certificate can be assured that they have reached stringent quality standards. APMG is based in the United Kingdom. APM Group operates worldwide with offices in the UK, the USA, Germany, Malaysia, India, Australia, China, and South Africa, amongst other countries. It is the official accreditor of the UK government's Cabinet Office for qualifications based on their best practice guidance portfolio. APM Group is in turn accredited by the United Kingdom Accreditation Service, or UKAS, against the EN 4501 and ISO IEC 17024 standards for several accreditation schemes it delivers. In the next screen, we will understand what value MSP holds for a professional. MSP is one of the most widely known program management guidebooks. An individual with MSP certification will always be better positioned in a lead program. The main benefits are utilizing best practice in program management to successfully deliver transformational change, carrying out coordinated organization, directing and implementing a dossier of projects and transformation activities to achieve outcomes, and realizing benefits of strategic importance to the business. Managing transition of solutions developed and delivered by projects into the organization's operations while maintaining performance and effectiveness. Encouraging realistic expectations of the organizational capacity and the ability to change, and leading business transformation accommodating high levels of complexity, ambiguity, and risk. In the next screen, we will focus on what value MSP holds for an organization. Organizations that hire MSP-trained individuals or train their managers in MSP have added benefits of having professionals who are adept at aligning corporate strategy, delivering mechanisms for change, and the business-as-usual environment. The MSP-trained individuals are trained to continually monitor progress, assess performance, realize benefits, and apply a common framework of understanding for all the programs. This also gives added value as it helps them to see the overall picture of the program. MSP adds value by explaining the focus on benefits and encourages feedback in order to refine future strategies based on evidence from programs. MSP-trained individuals are more aware of the upcoming pitfalls and thus are better prepared to avoid them and lead the program. Also, the individuals working with an MSP-certified professional in a program will learn a lot and add value to the organization. In the next screen, we will look into what the updated 2011 edition of MSP includes. MSP has been updated to 2011 edition guide, and since Monday, 5th August 2013, candidates take exams based on the 2011 edition. Let us look into the highlights of the updated edition. One of the major changes is that the lessons on governance themes now have a section outlining how a theme relates to each of the transformation flow processes. New hints on practical ways to apply the guidance have been added to the guide. The concept of tranche has been clarified, with specific guidance on the risk of overlapping tranches. The lesson on benefits management has practical advice on techniques and categorization, and a new cycle of activities with better vocabulary integration with the other lessons. Quality management includes a significant new section on assurance. The lesson on risk and issue management focuses on how the management of risk guidance can be applied specifically to the program environment, and the section on issue management has significantly improved. Let us discuss the prerequisites for applying for the certification in the next screen. There are no prerequisites for the foundation examination. Candidates must pass the foundation level before taking the practitioner examination, and the practitioner level before taking the advanced practitioner examination. Experience in program management, or at least project management, will help understand the concepts easily. In the next screen, we will discuss the MSP exam pattern with respect to the 3 levels of certification. There are 3 levels of examinations in the MSP course. They are as follows. Foundation exam. The aim of the foundation exam is to confirm that the candidate has sufficient knowledge and understanding of the MSP guidance to interact effectively with those involved in the management of a program. Practitioner exam. The aim of the practitioner exam is to confirm that the candidate has sufficient knowledge and understanding of the MSP guidance to act as an informed member of a program management team. Advanced practitioner exam. The aim of advanced practitioner exam is to confirm that the candidate could lead a program of transformational change. In the next screen, we will look into the pattern of the 3 levels of examination. Let us look into the format of each level of exam. The foundation exam comprises 75 multiple-choice questions with 1 mark per question. Each question will have 4 options with 1 being correct. 5 questions will be for trial and not counted in scores. 35 marks are required to pass out of the 70 marks, which is 50% of the total. The duration of the exam is 60 minutes and will be a closed book exam. No support material or guide will be allowed. The practitioner exam also has objective-type questions with 8 questions per paper based on small case study provided during exam. Each of the 8 questions will have subparts with total of 80 marks to be scored. Each question might have more than one correct option. Therefore, all the correct options are to be selected to score marks. 40 marks are required to pass out of 80 marks, which is 50%. The duration of the exam is 2.5 hours. It is an open book exam, which means only the MSP guide is allowed. The Advanced Practitioner exam is essay-based with up to 3 questions per paper. Each question will have subparts with a total of 75 marks to score. The exam is based on MSP care case study provided before the exam and additional information provided during the exam. Out of 75, a total of 38 marks are required to pass, which is 50%. The duration of the exam is 3 hours and is an open book exam. This means that the MSP manual is allowed. Other material in the form of course notes, examples, copies of presentations, etc. can be used during this examination, but no electronic aids such as laptops may be used. In the next screen, we will focus on what is covered in this tutorial. This tutorial has 3 parts. Part 1 will include Introduction and Program Management Principles. Part 2 explains the governance themes. Part 3 explains the transformational flow. The supporting materials provided are as follows. There are 140 quizzes in the MSP Foundation course offered by SimplyLearn. 2 sets of sample test papers are also provided to help the candidates prepare well for the MSP Foundation, Practitioner, and Advanced Practitioner exams. MSP Manual will be provided to all the candidates appearing for any of the MSP exams. In the next screen, we will focus on the mapping of lessons in this course. Part 1. Introduction and Program Management Principles. This part will include an introduction to MSP and also the Program Management Principles. Part 2. The Governance Themes. In this part, we will cover the overview and 9 governance themes. These themes include program organization, vision, leadership and stakeholder engagement, benefits management, blueprint design and delivery, planning and control, the business case, risk and issue management, and quality and assurance management. We will study the importance of these themes in the MSP framework. Part 3. Transformational Flow. The third part will cover the overview of transformational flow and identify the responsibilities for each activity in the program. The different processes in transformational flow are identifying a program, defining a program, managing the tranches, delivering the capability, realizing the benefits, and closing program. We will now move on to the next topic in the following screen. In the following screens, we will discuss the MSP Advanced Practitioner course, which will be a separate 2-day course. As mentioned earlier, for the Advanced Practitioners course, only those candidates who have proven their aptitude for MSP by clearing the practitioner level will be eligible. The candidates will be provided access to the SimplyLearn online course material and MSP care case study prior to the class for further discussions. The training will be scheduled for 2 days and will include review of MSP principles, themes, and transformational flows in depth. We will continue to focus on MSP Advanced Practitioner course in the next screen. MSP care case study and sample papers are also provided to give in-depth understanding of MSP. The training will help candidates discuss their real-life experiences in terms of MSP. Candidates will be familiarized with the exam process and tips will be provided. By the end of the second day, candidates will be ready to appear for the Advanced Practitioner exam. This concludes an overview of the MSP course. The next lesson will focus on an introduction to MSP. This lesson focuses on the types of programs, information baselines, and the circumstances where MSP can be used. Let us begin with the objectives of this lesson in the next screen. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain the types of programs, describe information baselines, identify the circumstances for using MSP, discuss the program impact matrix. In the next screen, we will discuss different types of programs. Vision-led programs, emergent programs, and compliance programs are the three types of programs. Let us discuss each type in detail. The first type of program is vision-led program. Vision-led programs came into existence to deliver a clearly defined vision owned by a leader in an organization. This tends to be a top-down approach as the instructions come from higher management. These programs will normally focus on innovation or strategic opportunities. For example, in public sector, we often come across different kinds of programs. Different political parties will initiate different kinds of programs as their ideologies differ. The second type of program is emergent program. Emergent programs emerge from concurrent, uncoordinated projects currently existing within the organization. Program emerges as there is a need to ensure that the projects coordinate to deliver the desired changes and benefits. Once recognized, it evolves in planned program with its own vision and direction. The third type of program is compliance program. Compliance programs are must-do programs and are often driven by external events like legislative changes. In this case, the outcome is measured in terms of avoiding negative implications rather than benefits. Through all these different types of programs, we identified that there are certain drivers for change which motivate the organizations to go for a program. These changes can be in economic environment, driven by the need to be more competitive, to comply with legislation or guidelines, or a need to adapt to the changing market. The other reasons can be random events like natural catastrophes, new technologies, aim to go global, or tapping new sales channels. All the above-mentioned reasons affect the relationships with stakeholders, work culture, organizational structure, business process, etc., and thus need to be carefully managed. In the next screen, let us review the different types of information baselines that are available in MSP. In most cases, information baselines are created at various stages during the program and maintained throughout the program. There are three main classifications of the information baselines. They are boundary, governance, and management. Let us now understand each of these in detail. Boundary. These documents set out the scope and direction of the program. They will identify what needs to be done in a program and also identify the goal. Some examples are business case, benefit profile, projects dossier, vision statement, etc. These documents should not be updated too frequently, as it indicates that the program is not sure of its direction. Governance. These are the documents which set the standards and frameworks within which a program will be delivered. These documents also define how the program will be managed. Some of the example documents are organization strategy, risk management strategy, quality and assurance strategy, etc. Strategies should be frequently reviewed and updated to ensure that they satisfy the need of good governance and are in sync with organizational objectives. Management. These documents are created and used to manage the delivery of the program. The documents define the activities that need to be undertaken and identify who is responsible for them. Some examples are stakeholder profiles, program plan, quality and assurance plan, etc. All governance baselines are implemented by a management baseline. For example, risk management strategy is implemented by a risk register, and so on. In the next screen, we will continue our discussion on information baselines along with their characteristics. Baselines help in planning and development of program information. The strategies defined in program indicate how the program will be managed. A plan helps us to define what and when these activities will be done. Completion and approval of the set of documents in each baseline represent a step forward in development of the program. All the documents are created for different purposes and are updated at different stages of the program. As and when we complete and implement these documents post-approval, we move ahead in the program. Governance baselines need to be reviewed frequently to ascertain their effectiveness. So, it is an accepted practice to include the review of these documents as a part of regular health checks. We have classified the documents into 3 different types. Classification helps the teams to understand their purpose and maintenance regimes. In other words, it helps the teams to understand the purpose of each document based on the classification. For example, management baselines are regularly updated, whereas boundary baselines are stable. Most of these documents are interrelated. It means that if one document is changed, other documents need to be updated as well. These documents are consistently reviewed and updated if needed. In the next screen, we will understand when MSP can be used. MSP can be tailored down in cases where the requirements are known and there is much less ambiguity on how to proceed. For example, for delivering new facilities in specification-led programs, the complexity of specifications may be high, but the scope will be well defined and adjusted to suit the circumstances. In such situations, ambiguity is less and probability of outcome is high. For example, setting up an assembly line for an automobile firm is complex, but most of the specifications will be known. Hence, it increases the probability of success. On the contrary, suppose we decide to send a spaceship to study another galaxy. Although we know what needs to be done, the technical knowledge is not available. This will reduce the chances of a program success. However, business transformation programs are different. The focus here is on transforming the way the business works, like mergers, etc. These programs are vision-led, and there is likelihood of higher ambiguity about overall implication of the changes and higher risk. For example, if an organization plans to change the way it carries out its marketing, there might be some impact on suppliers or customers as well. Greater the impact on customer and market, greater are the levels of ambiguity and risk. In such cases, MSP can provide a well-defined structure. Political and societal change programs focus on improvements in society. Because the scope is volatile, the predictability here is reduced as multiple external factors will be at play. For example, when we discuss the program for making a new city, it can have dependencies related to environment protection groups, government permissions, other stakeholders from whom land will be acquired, etc. MSP is suitable for complex and ambiguous programs. It can accommodate high-risk factors. MSP is primarily designed to lead and deliver transformational change. In the next screen, we will discuss business alignment. Programs do not exist as standalone. Programs must coexist with other initiatives, and adoption of MSP must deliver coherence. Focus needs to be given to other influence groups and governance committees that have vested interest in the program and may find their sphere of influence in conflict with program. Program vision statement must be relevant and aligned to corporate objectives, mission statements, strategies, policies, and similar important documents. Blueprint is a complex document, but it should not be missed out of program definition. This is a key document for pulling together the information that currently exists to help gain credibility for program and team. Some organizations use terms like target operating model or to-be state, which may be used for similar purposes. While defining benefits, it is always advisable to involve operations areas early. This will help in bridging the gap as it is the operational team which is asked to deliver the benefits. Creating a lighter benefits profile will help people to understand the concepts before imposing the full rigor. Program may have to select a few existing projects while closing a few other projects. The selection should be treated sensitively, as there will be stakeholders, like project executives, who will have strong views on what happens to their initiative. In the next screen, we will discuss the Program Impact Matrix. Program Impact Matrix depicts how different types of changes give a different focus for the program and how they impact the probability of outcome. For example, in technological programs, probability of outcome is high for known complex design, but the probability of outcome decreases when technology is new to organization or unproven in field. Scale of implementation is another factor. Bigger the scale, lower is the predictability of outcome. This is in case of specification-led programs. Similarly, in business transformation, the program is better placed to deliver the outcomes if we have defined best practices to implement them. But predictability decreases with involvement of external stakeholders and volatility of market. The more the factors that influence outcomes, the less is the predictability of the same. For community or societal programs, it is easier to implement a change to legislation, but it becomes difficult when changes are aimed to change societal values and behaviors. We recommend you go through the table given on the screen for a better understanding of the concept discussed. In the next screen, we will focus on an example based on the concepts discussed. Nutra Worldwide is a U.S.-based organization that produces healthy snacks and cereals. Mr. Smith is working as the CEO of NutraWorld, Inc. He has received 3 reports from different branches of the organization seeking his advice. Report 1 states that the packaging department of Nutra Worldwide, Inc. has realized that the complaints with respect to defective packaging have been increasing at a rate of 6% per quarter. They have found the reason to be an aging packaging unit. The solution identified is to upgrade the packaging unit in line with the new packaging unit of Manchester. Report 2 states that the region head, Carol Stafford, has suggested that they come up with a new product that can be launched as an evening snack and to promote it in the office cafeteria. The idea is a new one and can bring a lot of profit for the organization if successful. As per Report 3, the Yorkshire County has passed a new law that makes it mandatory for organizations to reduce the sugar percentage to 2% in their cookies for children. Nutra Worldwide, Inc. has to act fast to ensure that their cookies satisfy the criteria. The organization may need to change the recipe to maintain the taste. Mr. Smith needs to decide which of the above programs need the use of MSP. Let us find the solution to the problem in the next screen. Mr. Smith needs to focus on 2 aspects. 1. Predictability of outcome, and 2. Focus of change. In case of report number 1, the predictability is high as it suggests to replicate the solution already implemented in the Manchester unit. The specifications seem to be well defined. This scenario can be handled without MSP, or a leaned-down version of MSP can be used. A leaned-down version implies that not all the documents and procedures need to be followed. In case of Report 2, the scenario is related to business transformation, and a new product needs to be developed for a section which has not been targeted earlier. As such, the probability of outcome is low, so the MSP framework should be strictly enforced. In case of Report 3, the scenario is such that failure to comply will lead to products being withdrawn from the market. Nutra Worldwide, Inc. may need to change the recipe of their products. As such, the MSP framework should be strictly enforced. Let us summarize what we have learned in this lesson. There are 3 types of programs, namely vision-led, emergent, and compliance programs. The 3 information baselines in MSP are boundary, governance, and management. MSP can be used for programs which are specification-led, bring about business transformation, and address political and societal change. Program Impact Matrix depicts how different types of changes give a different focus for the program and how they impact the probability of outcome. Next, we will look at a few questions based on the lessons covered so far. Hello, and welcome to Lesson 2 of the Managing Successful Programs Certification course offered by Simply Learn. In the previous lesson, we looked into the introduction of MSP framework. It consists of three components like program management principles, governance themes, and transformational flow. In this lesson, we will focus on the principles of managing successful programs. Let us begin with the objectives of this lesson in the next screen. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the constituents of the MSP framework, explain the 7 principles of program management. Let us move on to the next screen to discuss the MSP framework. In the MSP framework, the outermost ring constitutes the program management principles. This ring shows the importance of principles and highlights the fact that the other core concepts of governance themes and transformational flow have to work within these principles. The second ring shows the governance theme, and the inner ring represents the transformational flow. In the next screen, we will focus on a brief introduction to the principles of MSP and find out how they help in program management. MSP is a common framework for understanding all programs, as it is based on some principles which are universally applicable to all programs and are self-validating as they have been proven in practice. They empower the practitioners with added ability and influence to shape the transformational changes aimed by the program. There are 7 principles that constitute MSP. The first principle is remaining aligned with corporate strategy. This means that at no point of time the program should deviate from the organization's strategy. The next principle is leading change, which emphasizes that change should be led effectively. The third principle is envisioning a better future and communicating the same. This means that we need to share the future aimed by the program. The fourth principle is focusing on benefits and threats to them. This ensures that all benefits are realized and threats to them are managed. The fifth principle is adding value, which means that the program should add value to the organization. The sixth principle is designing and delivering a coherent capability. This principle focuses on delivering a capability that is useful and in sync with the program objectives. The last principle is learning from experience, which tells us not to repeat the mistakes that might affect the success of the program. We will now discuss these principles in detail. Let us begin with the first principle in the next screen. The first principle is remaining aligned with corporate strategy. This principle is focused on creating a robust and flexible working environment for the program to help it adjust to strategic changes. Corporate strategy can be very volatile in nature and is driven by external and internal changes. The program has to work in a suitable environment and cope up with radical change of boundary, which may happen often or sometimes. If a program does not adjust with the change of strategy, then it will lose its purpose. Programs have to often prove or disprove strategic ideas. This means that a program has to provide an effective feedback to strategists so that they can refine the strategies based on previous experiences. The lessons learned can be very useful for future programs. External drivers may cause frequent changes of direction, and the program should be capable of keeping pace with the strategy and survive the changes. For confirming these conditions, we must ensure that the business case of a program is robust and has been finalized after considering all alternative options. Throughout the life cycle of the program, the business case needs to be reviewed frequently to ensure that it is aligned to the organization's strategy at all times. Most importantly, Flexibility is demanded only for programs. This is not advised for projects, where a flexible scope can end up in disaster. In the next screen, we will discuss the second program management principle. The second principle is leading change. Good leadership is required for changes to be driven successfully. This principle not only manages complex tasks, but also leads people to change. Good leaders should have the capabilities to guide the team through confusion and manage the uncertainties. They should have the ability to direct the program in the right direction without losing the sight of vision. For good leaders to foster trust, it is important that they lead with consistency and transparency. Openness will allow the stakeholders to raise and discuss risks and issues. All these stakeholders need to be actively engaged, and the people aspect of the program should be carefully addressed. By people aspect, we mean those phases of program where we need to deal with people and ensure that they are satisfied with the program. Leaders have to deal with finding the right people for the right roles. This is because a strong and well-equipped team increases the chance of a program to be successful. Well-led changes focus on people and bring their skills into play at the right time. Leaders need to provide a novel solution and see the bigger picture. This means that they need to constantly cope with complexity and ambiguity, especially in the early part of a program. Leading change also means supporting change through transition from old to new in ways of working. It is important to ensure that new ways are fully embedded in operations, and as soon as this is achieved, the old systems should be disbanded. Leaders should lead by example. Employees and other stakeholders will be more comfortable following a leader who does what he preaches. For example, a program's vision is to create a new office which is far from the city, in a healthier environment. Few employees might be hesitant to leave the old office as the new office is far away. In such circumstances, a good leader should share the vision of a healthy environment. Also, he should be the first one to move to the new office so that other employees feel motivated to do the same. In the next screen, we will focus on the third program management principle. The third program management principle is envisioning and communicating a better future. Any program is conceived with the aim of a better future in mind. This future can be due to a planned transformational change that may be brought by delivering a new capability. It is very important to share the beneficial future state with other stakeholders to gather support for the program. The leaders of the program should describe this future as vision. Then the vision is further refined and developed in the early part of the program. The vision should be maintained throughout the life of the program with minimal changes. If the vision has changed significantly, it could mean that program has been altered significantly and needs to be reassessed. Vision is one of the main tools for ensuring ongoing strategic alignment of a program. Lack of vision reduces the chances of a program's success. Once the vision is created, it is important that it is shared with all stakeholders through clear and consistent communication. This will help to get a buy-in and commitment from stakeholders. Also, vision is something that has to be communicated repeatedly to ensure that stakeholders remember it well. A program that doesn't have a clear and well-defined vision will leave stakeholders confused about its future intent. So, it's the task of the leader to develop a vision and maintain it throughout a program. Let us now have a look at the fourth program management principle in the following screen. The fourth program management principle is focusing on benefits and threats to them. Any program is conceived with the vision that it should achieve the strategically aligned benefits of the organization. All the activities in a program are focused to realize the planned benefits. A program is judged by its ability to deliver these benefits. However, the program also has to ensure that all these benefits are of strategic importance. Programs should not only focus on day-to-day challenges, but also be ready to manage strategic and long-term issues or threats to the benefits and optimize all opportunities to maximize them. Benefits management should be at top of the program board agenda. The success of the program is assessed by the ability to achieve benefits. In the next screen, we will discuss the fifth program management principle. The fifth program management principle is adding value. A program is not only an umbrella for multiple projects, but it also adds value to them. A program should deliver more benefits as compared to the individual outputs delivered by the constituent projects. If a program is unable to add such value, it is better we close the program. Now let us revisit the example of developing a city we discussed in Lesson 1. Each project is going to deliver output in the form of a road, a transport system, or a house. A project that focuses on making roads cannot identify a benefit that it will bring unless the road is linked to a particular housing society. Projects do not help you visualize the bigger picture, but program ensures that additional benefits can be identified and realized during its course. This is also the case for related and dependent businesses. A program also helps in avoiding double counting of benefits, which is a major value add-on. This ensures that we have proper figures related to benefits realization, and so we can ensure that no two projects work on similar deliverables. Another way of adding value is by maximizing the benefits of one project for another project. For example, in a product-based firm which delivers a telecom solution, it is imperative that changes to one product might give an opportunity to enhance other products with minimum extra effort. In the next screen, we will discuss the sixth program management principle. The sixth program management principle is designing and delivering a coherent capability. A program should be able to deliver the business architecture or final capability as defined in the blueprint of the program. The deliverables of programs should be coherent and focus on good quality. All quality requirements should be optimized, as poor quality of even one output may derail the whole program. The program should be scheduled in such a way that it maximizes the benefits and reduces the impact on operations. Ideally, no delivered outcome should be unutilized in a program. The schedule should aim for maximum incremental improvement in a program when put in operational use. A program should ensure that the project scope and outputs are carefully delineated. All the inter-project dependencies should be identified, and there should be clear understanding of program versus project responsibilities. A program should not take over the project management responsibilities. Projects should have well-defined boundaries in which they are free to operate as long as they deliver the promised output. Only the situations that cannot be managed by the project and fall outside the defined boundaries should be escalated to program management. Program management should provide guidance to projects and ensure that frequent reviews are conducted to verify continual alignment of projects to goals. The program blueprint should be regularly updated to reflect the changes during the life cycle of the program. If a program at any point of time realizes that the capability delivered by it is not aligned to business strategies, then the program must be closed immediately. Let us now look into the last program management principle in the next screen. The seventh program management principle is learning from experience. A program can be considered as a learning organization which matures during its lifetime. Frequent reviews make it possible to reflect on issues and adjust the program so as to avoid the recurrence of such issues. A program is best served if all the members of the management team are active learners. The management team should be ready to learn from each other's experience and accept the ideas from stakeholders as well. This opens up new opportunities. The team should also focus on improving performances during the life of the program. In the next screen, we will focus on an example based on the concepts discussed. Mr. Gordon Smith, the CEO of Nutra Worldwide, Inc., has identified Kylie Hunkley, the CFO, to be the senior responsible owner of the program NutriSnack. He wants her to quickly start preparations for the new recipe of the evening snack. Mr. Smith has asked Kylie Hunkley to come up with a business case and identify which country to target initially. The steps that Kylie wants to take are as follows. She has decided to take some time to do market research and come up with a robust business case. She wants to make sure that every base is covered and the organization does not run into trouble. She wants to make sure that strategic drivers are extended downwards in the program. The program will consist of making the correct recipe, getting clearances from the concerned health ministries, and preparing the advertisement plan as well as the logistics. Kylie has decided to be the face of the program and meet the quality heads of Nutri Worldwide Inc. in these countries. She also plans to identify other critical stakeholders and meet them personally. She has decided that as she is not yet sure about the viability of the program, the vision statement can be prepared once the recipe is decided. Kylie has asked William Cook, the EVP R&D, to list the benefits that can be derived from the program. She plans to keep benefits management as the top program board agenda. Kylie has also asked for the case study of previous programs that have been implemented and has reviewed them. Let us find out if the approach taken by Kylie is correct. Kylie has taken some quick decisions. Let us review them one by one. She wants to have a robust business case to avoid any fallacy and also ensure that strategic drivers are always visible. This is a good idea, and it is in sync with the MSP principle, remaining aligned with corporate strategy. Kylie wants to be the face of the program. This is again a correct approach. She is showing everyone that she believes in the success of the program and thus increases the morale of the program team. Her willingness to deal with stakeholders is in sync with the principle, leading change. Delaying the vision statement, though, is a bad approach. Vision statement is necessary to communicate the benefit of the program. Lack of vision statement will confuse the stakeholders as well. Ensuring that all the benefits are listed and benefits management is the key agenda of the program board is in sync with the principle, focusing on benefits and threats to them. The ultimate success of the program is based on its ability to deliver the planned benefits. While reviewing previous programs, Kylie has shown her willingness to learn from them. It is in sync with the principle, learning from experience. It ensures that new programs learn from the best practices of previous programs and at the same time avoid similar mistakes. Let us summarize what we have learned in this lesson. The MSP framework constitutes the program management principles, the governance theme, and the transformational flow. The 7 principles in conjunction with transformational flows and governance themes increase the chances of success of a program. Some of the principles of program management are remaining aligned with corporate strategy, leading change, and envisioning and communicating a better future. Programs which are conceived to realize benefits are based on the principle of focusing on benefits and threats to them. Next, we will look at a few questions based on the lesson covered so far. Hello, and welcome to Lesson 3 of the Managing Successful Programs Certification course offered by SimplyLearn. In the previous lessons, we discussed 3 core concepts of MSP framework and MSP program management principles in detail. In this lesson, we will focus on MSP governance themes. Let us begin with the objectives of this lesson in the next screen. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain the themes of governance, differentiate between strategies and plans. Let's have a quick glance on the governance themes within the MSP framework in the next screen. The MSP framework is outlined here. Governance themes are placed in the second circle. The image on this screen displays 9 governance themes. The inner ring represents the transformational flows. The governance themes are program organization, vision, leadership and stakeholder engagement, benefits management, blueprint design and delivery, planning and control, the business case, risk and issue management, and quality and assurance management. In the next screen, we will introduce Governance Theme. Governance themes are the control frameworks through which the programs deliver their change objectives and remain within corporate visibility and control. A program needs a clear and clean governance to succeed. An organization's approach to program management needs to be defined, measured, and controlled. The governance themes allow the organization to negotiate the resources by placing the right leadership, delivery team, robust organization structures, and control information in place. This gives the best chance of delivering the planned outcomes and realizing the desired benefits. Transparent and effective governance can help the organization in multiple ways. Effective governance can reduce the infighting between the constituent projects for resources. It manages the resources in such a way that both projects can deliver the planned outputs within the required timelines. It ensures that any change made to organizational strategy is timely and reflected in the program as well. We will continue our discussion on governance themes in the next screen. In this screen, we will discuss the 9 governance themes and see how they aid the program. Program organization defines the hierarchy and responsibilities of each role that are identified by a program. It also presents the attributes required for each role to help identify the right candidate. Vision theme helps the organization to come up with an effective vision statement, which is needed to get stakeholder support. It lists down all the qualities that are required for a good vision statement. Leadership and stakeholder engagement focuses on qualities of a good leader and how we can engage different stakeholders. It specifies how stakeholders can be identified, divided on the basis of country, food habits, and so on, and what would be their engagement methods. Benefits management focuses on the heart of a program, that is, the benefits. It defines the concepts of benefits and disbenefits. Blueprint design and delivery is all about creating an effective and robust blueprint. Planning and control is all about the program plan and program control. The business case discusses the importance and need of a robust business case for a program. Risk and issue management focuses on a program's ability to identify and manage the risks and issues. Quality and assurance management ensures that all management aspects of a program are working appropriately and the program stays on track to achieve the targets. In the next screen, we will discuss the content of each theme in MSP. For each theme, we will learn related strategies, approaches, and plans that will help in implementing the themes in MSP. This will give us an insight into how a theme is implemented in a program. We will also discuss the tools and techniques that can be used to support and manage all the themes. Each theme will highlight the MSP documentation, which is developed as a part of the theme. It focuses on the context of the program and provides control for the program. For each theme, we will also study the activities that should be regularly undertaken to ensure that the theme is practically being applied to program. And finally, we will discuss the roles and responsibilities of people involved in the program for successful application of the theme. Let us now understand the strategies and plans and the basic difference between them in the next screen. Strategies define the approach of a program that it will take to achieve its goals. It includes the policies or processes, contents, standards, cycles, and responsibilities related to that particular governance theme. The program strategies should always be aligned with organization's policies. Plans explain what activities will take place to deliver the element of governance, as well as where, when, and by whom. Once these strategies and plans are signed off, they become tools to address the organization's need for visibility and control. Let us continue our discussion on strategies and plans in the next screen. In this screen, we will discuss a few strategies and how they are delivered. The table on the screen showcases different strategies that are implemented by different delivery mechanisms. For instance, Resource Management Strategy is delivered by Resource Management Plan. This strategy covers the different resources required by the program, including people, finances, facilities, etc. Resource Management Plan will include details like who is the contact person to raise requests for resources, which project gets priority, etc. Similarly, Information Management Strategy will include details like how the information related to program will be cataloged, filed, stored, and retrieved. The Information Management Plan will provide details of the responsible people, servers for information, and plan for audits to ensure that information management is in place. We recommend you go through the table given on the screen for a better understanding of the concepts discussed. In this lesson, we will not be discussing each of these strategies in detail, as further in this course, there are individual lessons assigned to their respective strategies. Let us summarize what we have learnt in this lesson. Governance themes are the control frameworks through which programs deliver their change objectives and remain within corporate visibility and control. Some of the governance themes are organization, vision, leadership, and stakeholder engagement and benefits management. The approaches a program takes to achieve its goals are called strategies. Plans explain the activities to be conducted to deliver governance in programs. In the next lesson, we will look into governance themes and transformation flows in detail. This lesson focuses on governance themes and transformation flows, and also describes the roles and areas of focus in program management. Let us begin with the objectives of this lesson in the next screen. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain integration of program management in an organization-controlled framework, describe interaction between governance themes and transformation flows, discuss various roles and areas of focus in program management. Let us now look into integrating program management in an organization-controlled framework. Each program has to work along with business-as-usual activities of organization. The resources and activities need to be planned in such a way that it does not impact the day-to-day operations of organization. After all, these activities are the ones that will fund the program. Programs should always be under the control of senior management. Visibility of the program results in better buy-in from senior management, and that in turn will result in more support. Programs that try to operate independently, outside of the gambit of organizational control, are unlikely to achieve organizational buy-in. Therefore, to ensure the success of a program, we need visibility and control. For this, organizations also need to understand the program. This means in terms of how a program can impact the day-to-day operations, how the program will impact and constrain the policies and strategies, the resource needs, and the planned activities. This information will help organization to reduce the impact as well. We will discuss sample interactions between governance themes and transformational flows in the next screen. The transformational flow activities considered here are sponsoring the program, confirming the program mandate, appointing the Senior Responsible Owner, or SRO, and the program board and developing the program brief. For sponsoring the program, leadership and stakeholder engagement and program organization themes together explain how to identify the critical stakeholders and define the roles, responsibilities, and purpose of the sponsoring group. We have 3 themes to confirm program mandate activity. They are business case, benefits management and risk, and issue management. Business case highlights the purpose and importance of mandate. In other words, it highlights high-level expectations of organization with regard to cost and benefits of change, while benefits management and risk and issue management provide guidance on what to consider when preparing the mandate document in order to justify the program. To appoint the SRO and the program board, the program organization provides instructions for the roles, responsibilities, and attributes of the same. The other themes that assist are leadership and stakeholder engagement to identify appropriate members, and risk and issue management that highlights the risk as a result of poor selection of members. To develop the program brief, multiple themes come into action. Risk and issue management describes the risks and issues that might occur. Business case defines cost and options to consider for planning. Benefits management focuses on expected benefits. Vision describes purpose and content of outlined vision statement section. Planning and control develops timescales and estimates to control program, while blueprint design and delivery develops the vision statement and defines the program goals. We will continue to discuss the interactions between governance themes and transformational flows in the next screen. We will focus on some more transformational flow activities, such as develop program preparation plan, review of program brief and program preparation plan, and approval to proceed. To develop the program preparation plan, program organization defines the roles and responsibilities. All the governance themes provide overall inputs on what the plan should cover to ensure effective governance and control during the program definition. We will read more about these in Lesson 4, that is Program Organization. Review of program brief and program preparation plan takes input from quality and assurance management on effective process and decision-making. We will cover program brief and program preparation plan in detail in Lesson 14, that is, Identifying a Program. Finally, for approval to proceed, leadership and stakeholder engagement and organization themes guide us on who should be involved in approval process and how they should be engaged to gain support. We will further know more about these in Lesson 4, that is, Program Organization, and Lesson 6, that is, Leadership and Stakeholder Engagement. In the next screen, we will identify the roles and their area of focus for governance themes. Let us focus on the program management roles, namely SRO, Program Manager, Business Change Manager or BCM, and Program Office. The Senior Responsible Owner, or SRO, has the overall accountability and responsibility for design, approval, and success of program. The SRO is responsible for ensuring compliance of program with corporate controls, governance strategies, and initiations of assurance reviews. The Program Manager focuses on design and implementation of program governance strategies and ensures its alignment to corporate strategies in consultation with corporate governance bodies. The Program Manager will initiate the stakeholder consultation and also support the SRO in program management. The Business Change Manager reviews and contributes to governance development and control. They will implement the governance arrangements where the impact is on operations. They focus on monitoring the performance of operations during transition. BCMs also have to provide their inputs for program assurance reviews. However, their specific focus will always be on benefits and stakeholder governance. The Program Office maintains the records for program and supports governance assurance reviews. It will ensure all governance arrangements are in place on behalf of the Program Manager. The Program Office will also monitor the program and conduct assurance and audit reviews. It will assist programs and constituent projects by providing expertise to support assurance reviews on other programs' control. Let us summarize what we have learned in this lesson. Organizations need to understand the program in terms of business-as-usual controls and impact on policies and strategies. For a transformational flow activity like sponsoring the program, leadership and stakeholder engagement and program organization themes interact to explain the identification of critical stakeholders. The important program management roles are the Senior Responsible Owner, Program Manager, Business Change Manager, and Program Office. Next, we will look at a few questions based on the lessons covered so far. This concludes an overview of governance themes. In the next lesson, we will focus on the concept of transformational flow in detail.